Come, come, let's hear the moral story. Come, come, let's hear the moral story.
Are you ready for a story? It's all about a very, very proud peacock and a simple, wise crane who taught him something super important. Let's begin the tale of The Proud Peacock and the Simple Crane. Okay, let's quiet down now. Imagine we're tiptoeing into a magical, sunny forest. Shh, our story is just about to start. You see, way, way deep inside this forest, where all the flowers were bright and beautiful, in a colorful forest lived a peacock named Raja. Now, Raja wasn't just any old bird. Oh no, he had these amazing, shiny blue feathers, and his tail, wow, it was like a giant fan made of sparkling green jewels. And you know what he loved to do most? He just loved to show off. Every single morning, he'd spread that giant, beautiful tail and shout so everyone could hear, "Look at me, I am the most beautiful bird in the whole world." And you could just see the other animals. The parrots would just kind of blink, and the little rabbits would just stare, and the squirrels would all get together and whisper about him. But not too far from where Raja lived his loud, flashy life, there was a quiet spot. And nearby lived a tall, white crane named Soma. Soma was, well, she was very different. She had plain white feathers. Yep, no shiny colors. And she definitely didn't have a sparkly tail. She was beautiful in a very quiet, graceful way. So one day, Raja pranced right over to her, twirling and showing off, of course, and he chirped with a little bit of a cheeky grin, "Good morning, plain bird." But Soma, who was always so gentle, just smiled right back at him. "Good morning, Raja." Of course, Raja couldn't stop there. "Did you see my feathers?" he asked, puffing out his chest. "Yes," Soma said, "they are bright." "Bright?" Raja squawked. "They're magical. They shine like jewels." Soma just nodded. "That is nice." Then Raja looked down his long beak at Soma's simple wings. "And what do you have?" he asked, like he was telling a funny joke. "White feathers? No colors? No shine?" Soma wasn't bothered one bit. She just calmly looked up at the big blue sky. "I have wings." Raja just laughed and laughed. "Everyone has wings," he scoffed. And Soma just said, very softly, "Hmm." Well, a little later that day, something in the forest began to change. First, dark clouds gathered. Then, the wind began to blow really hard, and all the little birds started hurrying to find a safe place to hide. And that's when they heard a cry from near the river. "Help! The water is rising!" It was a family of little tiny chicks. The river was getting bigger and faster. And what do you think Raja did? He started flapping his tail around, shouting, "Oh no, my feathers! They will get wet!" He tried to fly away to safety. He flapped and he flapped, but his long, heavy tail dragged behind him, and splash! He fell right into the water. He could not fly high. But then Soma spread her strong white wings. Whoosh! She flew so smoothly right over that big, scary river. "Hold on," she called down to the little chicks. And then, one by one, she gently lifted the chicks carefully on her back and flew them all the way to dry land. And just like that, the storm passed. The little chicks all cheered for Soma, and Raja just stood there and watched with his eyes wide open. He slowly walked over to Soma, looking very humbled. He looked at her and said very quietly, "Your feathers are not shiny." "No," Soma agreed, "but your wings are strong." "Yes," she said. "And you flew so high," Raja whispered. Soma looked at him with very kind eyes. "Feathers can be pretty," she said, "but wings must be useful." Raja looked down at his own big, heavy tail. "I only cared about looking beautiful," he said so sadly. "Beauty is good," Soma explained to him, "but pride makes it heavy." And when Raja tried to lift his tail, he realized she was right. It felt so heavy. Soma said, "When we think we are above others, we forget how to rise." Raja's eyes blinked. He was finally starting to understand. He looked right at Soma, and with so much hope in his voice, he asked, "Can I learn to fly better?" And Soma nodded with the warmest, kindest smile. "First, fold your pride," she told him. "Then spread your wings." And he listened. He slowly folded his big tail. He flapped carefully. He didn't get very high the first time, but he kept trying, and each time he went a little bit higher. From that day on, Raja still spread his beautiful feathers in the sun, but he didn't shout about it anymore. And if someone ever needed help, he tried to use his wings, not just his pride. And that's the end of our story. It leaves us with a little something to remember, doesn't it? The moral is this: beauty shines outside. Humility lifts you higher.